Dear students, good morning. Today we are going to discuss about the lesson chemistry in daily life. So we already know in our day-to-day life, chemistry plays a vital role in case of digestion of the food what we take, the medicine what we take, all will come under chemistry in daily life. So for a normal healthy intestine, there is continuous exchange of water through the intestinal wall. So up to 20 liters of water is secreted and very nearly as much is reabsorbed every 24 hours. So water is taken and then reabsorption will be taking place continuously. This mechanism allows the absorption of soluble metabolites into the bloodstream from the digested food. So however, when a person becomes sick due to diarrhea, what will happen? The water will be expelled and the body is not able to retain the liquid balance. This is called as dehydration. So in case of diarrhea, it is not that it kills, but the dehydration resulting from the infection only that kills. If more than 10% of the body's fluid is lost, then death will occur. So in this lesson, we are going to know about ORS and its function, and we discuss about some common medicines and how do they work, and then combustion, and then fire, flame, and finally fire extinguisher. Now the first case we move on to oral rehydration solution. In a short form we used to say as ORS. We have already known about that. So it is a special combination of dry salt that is mixed with this safe water. It can help to replace the fluids lost due to diarrhea. So when diarrhea takes place, what happens? There will be an imbalance and much more water is secreted than reabsorbed, causing a net loss to the body which can be as high as several liters a day. So in addition to the water loss, the sodium and potassium also will be lost. Do you know the function of sodium? Yes. Concentration of sodium is needed for proper functioning of the body. That is, in case of the intestinal wall, water can be absorbed by it through a process known as osmosis. If there is inadequate salt in the intestinal wall, the body will not be able to absorb water. The saline bottle directly transfers water and sodium into the bloodstream. However, if you take also, it is not that neither water nor sodium can be absorbed. So the scientist Dr. Dilip Mahalanobis found that if glucose, that is sugar, is added to the salt solution, then all the three, water, sodium and glucose, are absorbed by the body. So this is said to be ORS. ORS is an effective treatment for 90 to 95% of patients suffering from diarrhea, regardless of the cause. As the water is replaced, balance is attained, saving the patients in most cases. We can also homely make the ORS. Do you know what are the requirements needed? Sugar, salt and the water. So we have to be very careful to mix 6 level teaspoons of sugar and half level teaspoon of salt dissolved in 1 liter of clean water. If too much sugar if you add, diarrhea will be worse, and too much salt can be extremely harmful to the child, and mixing a little too diluted is also not harmful to them. Through the process of osmosis, the salt and the sugar pull water into your bloodstreams and speed up rehydration. So the next one, how we protect the child from the diarrhea. So first, hand washing, sanitation and vaccinations can be given. ORS has to be given. Zinc tablets can also be given to them. Proper food maintaining fluids, vitamin A foods. If you sufficiently give, the child can be protected from diarrhea. Now we move on to antacid. So, acidity is a symptom caused by excess production of acid by the gastric glands of the stomach. Do you know stomach naturally secretes on acid? Can you name it? Yes, it's hydrochloric acid. It helps to digest and break down the food. When acidity occurs, the excess acid may move up from our stomach to the esophagus. When we have acidity or heartburn, we are administered a case of medicine known as antacids. So, what do you mean by antacids? It is a weak base. So, we already know in chemistry when an acid is combined with a base, then what will happen? Neutralization reaction will be taking place. Similarly, when we add a base to an acid, the neutralization takes place. Most of the common antacids are sodium bicarbonate, calcium carbonate, magnesium hydroxide, magnesium carbonate, and aluminum hydroxide. The chemical reaction created when magnesium hydroxide neutralizes hydrochloric acid in the stomach and the intestine. The next we move on to antibiotics. What do you mean by antibiotics? The biosynthesized chemicals isolated from the plant's microorganisms and used as medicine against infectious diseases. These substances are called as antibiotics. Antibiotic resistance is defined as the ability of microorganism to resist the effects of an antibiotic to which they were once sensitive. So researches are all going on antibiotics. It's of great importance to combat the virulent and mutated microorganism. For example, you can say chlorpheniramines, tetracyclines, penicillin are some of the examples of antibiotics. Then next move on to analgesics. So whenever any injury, any burn or pressure from a sharp objects and other conditions, it will cause pain to our body. The unpleasant feeling may be burning sensation in the tissue around the injury. So it may result in headache or ache of arthritis, back pain, neck pain, joint pain, headaches, pain from nerve damage, pain from injury, and a pain related disease are some of the most common pains. So, what happens when a pain occurs? The unpleasant emotion of pain is created in the brain and not at the spot of the injury. So, whenever you have just a pain from the brain, the signal will come up. If the pain is severe, say from burn, the impulse sends the brain trigger immediate response. Reacting to the signal from the brain, muscles pull our hand from the fire. Reacting to the message received from the pain spot, the brain sends back messages that initiating healing process. It can trigger to release pain, suppressing chemical and additional flow of additional white blood cells and platelets to help repair tissues at an injury site. So whenever the pain occurs, immediately what will happen? The white blood cells or the platelet cells will come near to the injury site and then start working. So analgesics or painkillers are the pain suppressing chemicals released by the body. They suppresses the feeling of the pain. That is the pain by acting either in the central nervous system CNS or in peripheral pain mechanism without signifying alternating consciousness. So when we are affected, what will happen? We used to take a medicine, for example, paracetamol. The paracetamol interact with the receptor and reduce the intensity of the pain signals to the brain. Also suppresses the release of substance called prostaglandins that increases pain and body temperature. So as soon as we take, what will happen? The pain will be reduced to us. The next we move on to antipyretic. What do you mean by antipyretic? These are chemical substances that reduces fever. They suppresses the releases of prostaglandin and reduce fever. Can you name most common antipyretics? Yes, paracetamol. Other antipyretics and anti-inflammatory agents includes aspirin, ibuprofen, and diclofenac. The next move on to antiseptics. What do you mean by antiseptics? These are the substances applied to the exterior of the body that kill or inhibit microbes and infective agents. Antiseptics can be effective against one of a combination of bacteria, fungi, viruses, or the other microorganism. For example, Dettol. It is a mixture of chloroxinol and terepinol. The next one, tincture. So it is composed of iodine plus 2 to 3% of alcohol. That is a water mixture. That is soap, iodoform, phenolic solutions, ethanol, boric acid are some examples. Can you name some natural antiseptics? Yes, this garlic, turmeric, and the aloe vera. You can see whenever just any pain comes or any injured, they used to keep turmeric on your finger, then it will be cured. The next move on to medicine. What do you mean by medicine? It is used to treat the diseases and to improve our health. Medicines are used to treat the diseases and to improve our health. So in Tirukkural it is said, diagnose the disease and understand its seeds, identify the cause and make sure it succeeds. So the science or practice of the diagnosis, treatment and prevention of diseases are said to be medicine. So it can be taken by means of many ways. Can you say some of them? Yes, oral use, then external use, and then by means of injection. The medicine we take treat our disease and lead us to a good health. So it should cure our diseases and the pain should be relieved. For that only we have to take the medicine. It should not give any other external diseases from that. The next we move on to combustion. What will be combustion? It is a chemical reaction that occurs in the presence of fuel, that is an oxidizing agent. So it is usually in the form of what? Heat and light. So for a combustion to take place, it should require ignition temperature and then fuel and the oxygen. So what do you mean by ignition temperature? The minimum temperature at which the substances catch fire and burns is called ignition temperature. So substances which have low ignition temperature can easily catch fire. So they are said to be inflammable substances. For example, petrol, alcohol and LPG, CNG are example of inflammable substances. Different substances have different ignition temperature. In case of combustion, It's of three types: rapid combustion, spontaneous combustion, and slow combustion. So, rapid combustion means what? It is a combustion process in which a substance burns rapidly and produces heat and light with the help of external heat. For example, burning of LPG. So, in case of the gas stoves, when lighter is common, when we put it on, the gas stove burns. So, when a heat is given, it burns suddenly. That is said to be rapid combustion. And the next one, spontaneous combustion. Spontaneous means what? Without any help of any external, without any help of any external heat. For example, white phosphorus. It burns spontaneously at room temperature. The next one, explosion. Explosion you can see in case of crackers burning. It is a type of combustion in which substance burns suddenly and produces heat, light, and sound with the help of heat or pressure. The last one, slow combustion. Slow means what? It is a form of combustion which takes place at low temperature. For example, you can say respiration is an example of slow combustion. And then rusting of iron is also a slow combustion. And then next we move on to flame. When we light a candle, what will happen? The light comes out from the flame. It is actually a chemical reaction. It's a mixture of vaporized fuel, oxygen, carbon dioxide, carbon monoxide, water vapor, and many volatile materials. So, it is a zone of combustion. The substances which vaporize during burning produces flames. Example, wax, kerosene, etc. So, when you come across structure of a candle flame, it composes of three zones: the outer zone, the middle zone, and the inner zone. The outer zone, it is a complete combustion of the fuel that takes place, and it is blue in color. It is the hottest part of the flame, and it is non-luminous part of the flame. Non-luminous means we can't able to see. The second one, middle part, it is yellow color. Moderate heat can be obtained. And the third case, the inner zone, they are unburnt vapors of the fuel, and the color is black and is least hard part. So in case of the outer zone, we have blue color, and the middle zone yellow color, and the inner zone black color. So a candle is caused by vapor burning above the candle. This burning vapor is hotter than the surrounding air and is therefore less dense. So by the principle of convection, it rises. So the flame is always can be seen in the upward direction. So during the festivals of light, we used to decorate our houses with the light. Can you name any one festival? Yes. During Diwali, we used to fire crackers and we can find different colors coming out. So how we get those colors? For example, white flame means it composed of Epsom salt. Violet color flame, lithium chloride. Indigo flame, potassium chloride. Blue flame, bleaching par. Green flame, borax powder. Yellow flame, calcium chloride. Orange flame, table salt. And red, strontium chloride. Then next you move on to calorific value. So how much amount of heat can be obtained from the substances? There are three types of matters we can take: solid, liquid, and gas. So in case of wood, in case of liquid, that is kerosene, diesel, and in case of gases, when you consider liquid petroleum gas or compressed natural gas. So from all these substances, how the heat is produced, and then how much calorific value we are obtaining, is there any residue behind, those can be found by heating the substances. So the amount of heat energy produced on complete combustion of 1 kilogram of a fuel is called a calorific value. So with the calorific value only we can say a substance as a good fuel. So for characteristics of a good fuel, it should be readily available and it should be cheap so that each one can able to purchase, and then easy transport, and then storage, and it should burn at a moderate rate. It should produce large amount of heat, should not leave behind any undesirable substances, and the main important is does not cause pollution. So of the three fuels, solid fuel, liquid fuel, gaseous fuel, we always used to prefer what? Gaseous fuel. The next, how we can able to control the fire. So you can see the fire triangle, oxygen, heat and the fuel. So the necessary condition for producing fire are fuel, air and heat. The fire can be controlled by removing any one of these conditions. The next we move on to fire extinguisher. What do you mean by fire extinguisher? A fire extinguisher can cut off the supply of the air or bring down the temperature of the fuel or the both and controls the fire. So now we are going to see how it controls. So a portable fire extinguisher applying an extinguishing agent that will either cool burning fuel, displace or remove oxygen or stop the chemical reaction. So that what will happen? The fire cannot continue to burn. When the candle of an extinguisher is compressed, it opens and inner canister of high pressure gases forces the extinguishing agent from the main cylinder through a Siphon tube and out the nozzle. So a fire extinguisher works much like a can of hairspray. There are various types. The common type fire extinguishers are air pressurized water extinguisher, carbon dioxide extinguisher, and the dry chemical powder extinguisher. In this lesson, we have discussed about the chemistry in our daily life. That is the ORS, oral dehydration solution, and then some medicines we have come across, and then fuel, then flame, then fire extinguisher, and the fire how it can be controlled. Thank you, students.